Hello everyone. Today in our second video, we are going to learn about Python, different types of data types in Python. There are mainly 5 data types in Python. They are number, string, tuple, list, set, and dictionary. We are going to use each data type individually over here. So we are first opening our Python. There are some old course. I am just removing them. Yes, at first we are just getting concept about number in Python. Numbers in Python. In Python, basically there we use different types of numbers like integer number, float, require integer, float, character, even complex number, complex, integer, float, character, complex number, other long integer, long integer, and so on. Let us take example of this. Now I am going to just show example of this. What is integer? Integer is one of our data types in Python. It is one of the data types. In integer, we just in integer, and just writing as a comment because I'm going to tell you about the basic knowledge over here. Integers are those values which can include either 0, 1 or 2, 3, and it can go up to any numbers, but it doesn't contain any decimal point value number. Whether float values is float is another float contains other values like which have a decimal point, recurring value. They can be rational value and irrational value, both 1.22. Here after a point there are some value that is a floating value. So float consists of the floating value. Any value that consists of a floating number, we consider them as a float value. Yes. And then we have another character. In characters, yes, characters are those which that can be of from A to Z with all uppercase letter or lowercase letter. They are taken inside the single quote. They are taken normally taken inside the single quote in other programming language, but Python doesn't use any single quote for also declaring the characters. And then we have integer, long also is our next data types. In long we use different types of like we use integer. If there is integer, we can use long. We can use different large data values. Like if we are using large data number that can be in crores, 10 crores, billions, trillions, and at that case we are just using long as our data types. Now we are going to learn about each of them individually over here. First, we are just going to learn about numbers in Python. In numbers in Python, we are just declaring A as 12, B as 12.2. Here our value A is, it is of integer, it is integer type. Yeah, it is, we can write comment over here, integer, integer type. Yeah, and our another value B, that is 12.2 is of floating data types. Yes, floating data types. Floating data type. We can here now we can add between two number. We can just add equals to A plus another is B. Yeah, we can just generate as add as a another variable, and finally we can print out our result. We can print our result as we are not using it as a string, it is just that variable. So print our add, and finally we are just running our code. After running our code, we will get 12 plus 12, 24.2 as our result. Here we can see detail our result over here. This is how we can use the integer values and floating values over Python. Yeah, and then if you are using integer values, we can declare long as our data types over there. In later lesson we will learn about that also clearly. And then we are just learning about our second types of data types is string. As I have told earlier, is string. What is a string? String is defined as the sequence of a character. It is a sequence of a character used to display output, generally used to display output or give user some instructions. It is always inside the quotation mark. As I have told earlier, we use print statement here. Print hello, just write my name, hello Saroj, and here hello Saroj is inside the quotation mark, so it is just a string. Inside any value inside the quotation mark we call string. We can also declare it as a variable. String equals to hello Python, and then we can print out over it here, print statement, and we are just printing our string. Then we are just running our code, then we will get two result, that is hello Saroj over here, and just a Python, that is our string which is inside a double quote. And note one thing, that we can also use single quote for declaring our string. Here I am just replacing double quote with single quote, and then after running it, let us see, here is Python. So in Python programming, single quotes and double quotes represent a same meaning. Yeah, and then we are just familiar with our string values. With our string values we are just familiar. Now we are going to learn about tuple. Tuple, tuple. It might be a new word for us, but it is not much more vast. It is just a collection of an element of different data types. It is just like a list in a programming list. As we create a list of some vegetable supplies that we go to market, like tomato, brinjal, and other, and many more, they are created in a list. We can use them and create them as in a form of list. And as like that, tuple is also a list of an element, but it consists of different data types. What are different data types? Integer type, float type, character type, and many more. So in tuple we are just using tuple, getting example, just write tp is equals to, it always start with a small bracket, and we are writing apple. This is of string. Yeah, and then we are writing a, this is our character, and then we are writing 100, and we are writing 12.2. yeah, 12.2 is our floating data types. Here are different types of data types, and we can print it out here. Okay, print tp. Then we are running our program. Our program will be run, and we will get result of a different data types inside a single list. Here if you don't have declared a tuple, then we cannot get result by creating a simple list over here. Yeah, I have already told about something about, now you get general concept about list. I am just writing about list. Okay, list. List also is the collection of different types of elements. It can be collection of any types of element over there. Yeah? We are also creating list. List is equals to, list generally start with a big bracket. List generally start with big bracket, apple, apple over here, and a over here, and just we are writing comma, and other names as 100, comma 12.122 over here. It is a floating type value. We have just created this list, and we are and there is one special thing, that is lists are created and data, they are placed as in the ratio. If we print, just think as print, we are printing from L list, so we are just writing here list, printing from list. So we just want to print from here 1 to 3, means A to A is our 1, apple is 0, a 1, 100 is in 2 index, 12.122 in 4. Then we are just writing 1 is to 3. Then we are printing and running and checking our code. Yeah, then we get our result a and 100. Only these two will get displayed. If you want to display any two between them in list, we can easily do it over here. In the later on we will discuss it in many concepts over here. Yeah, then we are now familiar with our lists. We can also add, multiply, subtract, and other operation, carry other operation in list. Just we are multiplying over here. Then list asterisk 3, list asterisk 3, we are just multiplying list by 3. Then we will get result 3 times. Our result will be displayed over here in the screen. We can use divide sign here. Over here we can calculate any arithmetic operations that are in our mathematics or in programming. Yeah, then after a list there is a set is just like list. We are just writing about set and getting comments over here. Set is just like list. It also it also holds the collection of different data types, but inside a set they are immutable. There is a new term, that is immutable. Immutable is such a term where we cannot change its types. Once it is printed, it cannot be changed or it cannot be edited. So it is set. Yeah, for this we can just write an example at set is equals to, it is just like I have already said, it is just like tuple. So we are using small middle bracket over here, and we are writing like apple apple over here, banana over here, and just creating comma, 11 over here, 12.2 over here. Yeah, and just, and then we can print it out over here. Print st and see our result. We will get our desired output as a whole inputted. Yes, and we can also carry it out here arithmetic operations like division, multiplication, already multiplication. So we are adding just we are adding st with our set with our set. Then we will get the double set. Track must recall the last sorry, we cannot. One most important thing that I forgot is we cannot add, multiply, and subtract our set number directly over here. That is called immutable. Yeah, that is called immutable. That is so it is set is also always called and as an immutable. Now we also got basic concept about set. Then we are done with our all basic data types in Python. We are done with all basic data types in Python. Now in next tutorial we are just going to learn about different types of variables in Python. Stay tuned with us. We'll keep watching. Thank you.